Rest in peace to a legend. What's going on, YouTube? It's Knox Hill, and we're back with the reaction series. So today, man, listen, I'm well aware the new Linkin Park band members have been stirring a lot of controversy. There's a lot of people who love it, who are excited about a new chapter. There's also a number of people who aren't happy about it, who still have such a deep emotional connection to Chester for very good reasons. And I just thought, you know what? Let's dive back into the catalog. Let's dive into a song that kind of celebrates Chester and just talk a little bit more about this and do a breakdown of it. So this right here, right now, is none other than One More Light. Wow.
Should have stayed, were the signs I ignored. Can I help you not to hurt anymore? We saw brilliance when the world was asleep.
Haunting.
There are things that we can have but can't keep. If they say
there are things we have but can't keep. This life is only fleeting, and you know, in the grand scheme of things, we really are just one small part to a much, much, much greater and grander picture. But man, this is haunting. I mean, it hits on a different level. Hearing these lyrics, seeing the video, seeing Chester sing these lyrics, which in a weird way feels like they could be about him now. You know, wow. It's just, it's heavy because it's got, I'm always a fan of like mixing in sort of this home movie feel, right? Like you have the more cinematic, the show shots, which is dope, and you see the fans, and you see how much he means and the emotional connection that they have. But then you have like just these little moments, like recording in studio together, backstage, that just adds that sort of humanity to it, right? And just kind of lets us through and peek through the veil into Linkin Park's world and Chester's world. And I just want to break down a little bit more of these lyrics real quick. Wow.
should have stayed.
Even though dun 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 dun, it's almost haunting, right? Because it reverberates on one side of the mix, then it kind of slides over to the other, then it comes back on this side, sort of echoing all around.
Were the signs I ignored.
That's what hits heavy, where there's signs I ignored. Because I can't imagine being there, like in Mike's position, or Steve, or any of their position, right? And just thinking, were there signs that I ignored about my best friend and my bandmate who's no longer here? But then this is for anyone, right? Where there's signs I ignored, that they were unwell, that something was wrong, that something could happen. Hindsight's always 20/20, isn't it?
Can I help?
Even right there, you could just hear him, that intake of breath. Like sometimes as an audio engineer, you cut that out, right? Some artists don't like it, but I love just like leaving that intake of breath in there, because you just hear it. Like it just adds kind of to the weight of what's being sung.
Can I help you not to hurt anymore?
Another great line. Can I help you not to hurt anymore? Selfless.
We saw brilliance when the world was asleep. There are things that we can have but can't keep. If they say, who cares if one more light goes out in the sky of a million stars? It flickers, flickers. Who cares when someone's time runs out? If a moment is all we are, or quicker quicker, quicker. Who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I do.
I love that. It's a message like, you matter. You know, you are seen. And it's so true, you know? Like, you think of the billions of lives that are out there and the countless stars in the sky, and then a light goes out. And most of the world doesn't know and isn't aware of that death and another beautiful soul passing on. But I love this kind of this, you know, I do. I care. I'm here. I hear you and I see you. It's heavy.
I do. The reminders pull the floor from your feet. In the kitchen, one more chair than you need. Oh, and you're angry, and you should be. It's not fair. Just
How many of us scream it's not fair? And, you know, one more kitchen seat that's gone because of death, I take it as a reminder when you reflect on the past, and it pulls the floor out from under you because you just lose your feet. You lose your balance because it hits so heavy and you realize that person is no longer here. And as someone who's just been so close to death this past year, and you know, even now with my mom going through chemo, and
it's not fair.
it's beautiful. It's fucking sad, but it's beautiful too.
Just 'cause you can't see it doesn't mean it isn't there. If they say, who cares if one more light goes out in the sky of a million stars? It flickers, flickers. Who cares when someone's time runs out? If a moment is all we are,
Love that.
or quicker, quicker.
Never too big for anyone else, no matter who it is.
Who cares if
Just, you know, dapping up the sound techs backstage.
or quicker, quicker. Who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I do.
There's just that warble, that tension to his voice, man. You just feel the connection. You feel the connection to the music and the lyricism. And here's a performer who just bears his soul to the world for all to see and hear. And you also see some of the connections, like the fan in tears, and just what the music means to so many out there. Just heard that little scream. It's like an echo reverberation way down in the mix right there.
Who cares if one more light goes out in the sky of a million stars? It flickers, flickers. Who cares when someone's time runs out? If a moment is all we are, or quicker, quicker. Who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I do. Well, I do.
Just a little kiss for the crowd at the end, man. And even there, like, everybody's got their cell phones out, but it represents like the lights in the night sky. Beautiful shots. Haunting. Chester, you ignited a flame of passion, laughter, and courage in our hearts forever. We miss you, brother. I mean, you can understand why when you lose such an icon and someone who's so impactful. Because music is emotion. You know, the beauty of music is that it helps us to feel and to express things that ironically we can't always put into words, and lyricism only comes so close. It's just a feeling you get, and it's that emotional outlet and connection that you have with music. And I think because it hits us so deep and dear in here, that whenever changes happen or something happens to a band that we love, someone that we follow, it's hard to process. It's hard to digest because we're not dealing with the logical side of our brains, right? We're dealing with the raw emotion of it all. And Linkin Park built their songs and built, you know, their fan base off of these intense emotional connections with their fans, because so much of the lyricism is about Chester's journey of mental health, isn't it? And what he struggles with and has gone through. So yeah, it's a heavy hitter, man. Rest in peace, Chester. Linkin Park, you were Knox Hill certified. Hope you guys liked today's video. Listen, for some reason you're here at the end, obviously enjoying the content, do me a huge favor, support the channel directly. Subscribe, notifications on, really does go a long way. I love you guys. Stay safe, stay positive. It's only Knox Hill. You know, catch you again.